Liars!
The League Cup was delivered for the 22nd time in the club's history after a thrilling penalty shootout.
Vi kan ta vi hem nu.
About the people on this stage and about the Celtic itself over recent months. Times of challenge call for unity and understanding as well as honest responses to reasonable questions. Yet there are those out there who seem to lie in wait for any opportunity and any small opening to stir up toxicity around the club. Let me start by dispensing with the absurd caricature some people spread about my father and state some of his Celtic credentials. He's a passionate and lifelong Celtic supporter. He first put money into Celtic more than 30 years ago when Fergus McCann asked him for help. He became the principal shareholder when Fergus sold out, and he took on the responsibility that came with that. He wants the club to be healthy, successful and still thriving decades and even centuries from now. The board shares those desires, and that's why the board respects financial reality. We act prudently, not recklessly. Those who accuse the club of hoarding cash or being in it for the money display a deep misunderstanding of financial responsibility. The board has a duty of care to the shareholders, to the supporters and to the future of this club. We don't declare dividends to distribute surplus cash to ordinary shareholders, as many other businesses do. Cash is retained and used to sustain and develop our club. As Chris explained in the video, Celtic must maintain strong reserves and contingencies to protect against unforeseen circumstances. That financial strength is what gives us independence, stability and the ability to make our own decisions and not to be beholden to anyone else. Those who talk about the club not having kicked on in Europe since 2003 ignore the enormous change in the financial landscape of football in that period. It has created a gap which keeps growing.
Show a bit of respect. Not just listen, you don't want the meeting to close. I take it. We'll behave.
It has created a gap which keeps growing and challenges any club playing in smaller European league. Most supporters understand that. Of course, clubs can still punch above their financial weight, and we should aspire to that. But if you swing and miss, you risk the very stability of the club, and that would be profoundly irresponsible. The financial independence of his club was jeopardised in the mid-1990s, and we must never allow ourselves to fall into that position again. We constantly strive to improve, to become more competitive and to go deeper into Europe, and there's no doubt we get things wrong and we make mistakes, and we try to learn from them. Our model is far from perfect, but for the most part, it has served this club well over the past 20 years. So we will not be bullied by aggressive, irrational factions. We will not be railroaded by those whose only vocation in life is to be anti-establishment and by those who try to degrade the club. Our focus is on what matters, improving this club step by step, systematically, without ever risking its future. Improving recruitment, investing in data analytics, upgrading facilities, enhancing the stadium and trying to make Celtic stronger in every way. Criticism and advice are welcome and the right of every supporter, but some of what we've seen recently is not constructive, it is destructive and cynical. All it does is strengthen our resolve to protect the integrity and stability of Celtic Football Club. Our board, led by Peter, and our executive, led by Michael, are dedicated Celtic people. The attempts to dehumanise them and vilify them are shameful. These are people with families. They love the club every bit as much as anyone here, and when we're not performing, they suffer just as much as anyone. They work tirelessly, often under intense pressure. They do an outstanding job for this club, and we are very lucky to have them. Of course, we are not blind to our shortcomings. We can communicate better, we can recruit better, we can compete better, but we will do it responsibly, sustainably, and always in the best interest of Celtic. Celtic was founded as a club open to all, and we have a tradition of having the greatest fans in the world. We must then protect that reputation that was created over generations. The behaviour of certain sections increasingly brings the club and its fan base into disrepute. The incident a few weeks ago at the Falkirk match was symptomatic of wider behaviour. These people are bullies, and they try to hijack the good name of Celtic supporters. We cannot allow them to define who we are. I'm well aware of the target. I'm putting my back by saying this.
Let the guy speak.
I'm going to have to apologise to those shareholders that are here today who have the best interests of the club at heart, particularly those that have a question, that would want to ask it later on. But because of the disruption, we're going to draw the meeting to a close.